Do you want to make a super simple skirt in a very short time? Well, I do. Because I am a dressmaker and, of course, I have nothing to wear. Hello, amazing people! Today I am going to show you how to make this stretch midi skirt with a slit. It's a perfect sewing project if you are a beginner dressmaker or if you need to quickly make something. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more sewing tutorials. For this project you will need a jersey material with at least 35% stretch. You will also need a sewing pattern. You can find this pattern in our Etsy or online store. The links are in the description below. A matching thread, of course. And I highly recommend using a special needle for stretch materials. If you have a very thick jersey material and your sewing machine is skipping stitches, you can even try a sewing machine needle for leather. These two types of needles are different from the regular needles by their rounded tip. The regular needles have a very sharp pointed tip and it can cut the loops in the knit jersey, which can result in holes around the seam. For this skirt, I used both sewing machine and serger. If you don't have a serger, you can also use the sewing machine only. If you don't know what sewing machine stitches are suitable for stretch materials, you can find a tutorial in our Instagram page. You can scan this QR code to get there, or you can find a link in the description. Now lay the pattern pieces on the fabric and cut the details. To easier match the details later, I cut notches in the middle points at the waist. I cut V-type notches on the front details. Cut these notches around 4 mm deep. And for the back details, I cut a simple straight notches. In this way, I will be able to recognize which skirt details are the front and which are the back details, because they look quite similar. When using a sewing machine, I will be using a straight stitch which has some elasticity. Now let's start by preparing the waistband. Lay the front and back waistband pieces together with the right sides facing. Pin the side seams and sew. If you are feeling very comfortable with the sewing machine, you can skip pinning these details and just sew right away. And now press the seam allowances open. Now fold the waistband on half and press around the upper edge. After you have prepared the waistband, neaten the skirt front panel's right side seam. And for the back panel, neaten the left side seam. Now lay front and back panels right sides together. Take your paper pattern and mark the starting point of the slit. If you want it higher or lower, feel free to add this marking wherever you like. And now pin from the marking point up to the waist. Make a seam starting from the waist to the slit marking. Let's press the side seam open. I laid the skirt panels almost on the edge of the ironing board because in this way it is easier to iron curved lines. Also, press the seam allowance on the slit. Press it 7 mm from the edge. Lay the front and back panel pieces together, with right sides facing. Serge from the waist to the hem. Press the seam allowance towards back. And now let's join the waistband with the skirt panels. Match the notches you made at the beginning and the side seams. Pin around. Serge or sew around. Just remember to be extremely careful to take out the pins before they get close to the serger's knife. Otherwise you can damage your serger and it can be dangerous for you as well. To hide the threads from the serger, I will use a needle with a big eye. Now I will put these threads inside the needle and hide those threads in the seam. In this way I will be certain that even after washing, this seam will not rip. Now press the seam downwards. This is the moment when you should try on the skirt and decide whether you like the length and do you want to change something about the sleeve. I have already pinned the hem to see how the end result will look like, and I decided to leave them as they are. If you want them shorter, simply decide how much you would like to cut off and remember to leave the hem allowance. After you have made your decision and made the changes, or maybe not, neaten the hem allowance. And again I will be hiding the loose threads in the serger's seam. At this point it is not mandatory, but I just simply enjoy the clean look if I hide the threads this way. We are so close to the finish line right now. So now turn the hem allowance to inside and press 4 cm apart from the hem. And after pressing, pin the hem. Now sew around the hem and also sew around the slit. Now give the final press and voila, you're finished. If you enjoyed this tutorial, press the like button. And if you have any questions, write them in the comment section and subscribe to our channel. Bye!